People Management Analyst. He is the CEO and Director of eFrank Group. He is accredited with the development and the implementation of DGS eFrank psychometric assessments and the unique digital psychometrics 43 groups. His visionary strategies are manifested in the expression of eFrank Group pan-India. The most short employability score for millions individual users is a feather in his cap. Establishment of national and global percentile for career interest eFrank psychometrics, implementation of Bolt's model, development of the eFrank behavioral framework and the global behavioral factor group, universal to all culture and subculture, are the credit to his passion towards behavioral sciences. He has mastered innovative and customized HR models in the areas of human resource development, organizational development, learning development, HR initiatives and interventions, performance management systems, cultural development, employee engagements and employee communications. His unique HR tools and techniques have helped several corporate and individuals. He has conceptualized his thoughts in his books Business Process Outsourcing, where is concept, current trends, management and future challenges, HR relevance and the corporate psychology. World. He has also written several articles, developed case studies and published research materials. Currently, he is involved in authoring a book on the future meant, the future of work, human behavior and technology. Is going to the
a warm good evening from us. Probably, today we want to speak about this millennial learning styles. Some idea what is this? If you could come, just let us know what thoughts you have on this topic.
There is a modern way of learning.
Come in, sir.
There will be a new detail.
Okay, there
It's
is
a normal
something.
way of learning which people are shifting.
Okay, there is a shift in the learning
Yes.
process.
Learning.
I am not sure whether everybody will agree upon the shift. The learning is slightly changing.
Changing.
That's what he tries to say, sir. Probably he has got a lot of passion towards the metros of Bangalore and Delhi, so he has a lot of ideas from that. Okay, what else? What else does the topic really think about? What we really understand?
It's a kind of open source.
It is an open learning. Okay, now learning has become very open. Earlier, we only were, the knowledge was only with few people. We got to tap it and then bring it. It was more of a tacit knowledge. Now there is more of explicit knowledge which is happening. So that could be also. Any other thoughts?
learning states are expansion.
Expansion. Okay. Very, very different expansion. It is not in a particular stage, but it's going. I'm not sure you could come in French, in fact, because we don't have the LCD here. Okay.
It's a problem with the line.
Now we go a little beyond that. In fact, the learning whole process is a bonanza. God has given us a gift of learning. And why do we say that? It's always because this learning has made the whole civilized society great, a great place to live. And also, we say that the learning community results in a happy world. So, whether education has made us very good, nice. So these are the thoughts behind the research. What I'm going to speak about is the current research which is on. Not only in India, it is a process. That's what will be, I'll be discussing with you. Now, maybe we'll try to ponder what are learning styles. A little bit of psychology also will get inside the millennial learning style. Is it different from the traditional learning styles? Or the technology has it reshaped it? Or what are the effects of this style? And also, should we modify the so-called learning style? Is it good? Okay, today's people are always using the tab. Or the kids today, when you look at it, what are the health hazards? Does it have something to do with that? Are we on the right track? Yes, no, kind of thing. Sometime back, somebody gave me a small list I will read out the list and the person asked me, who are they? All this list, what does it come under? He talked about Steve Jobs, Mark Twain, Henry Ford, Shakespeare, Churchill, Lincoln, Einstein, Edison, Gates, Dhruva Ambani, and also he named the present Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu and the former Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu. So this was the list. What is this list about? Top personalities, okay?
They excel in their respective field.
They excelled in their respective field, okay? Something else?
Different types of leading.
Different types of leading or leadership style or even learning style, let's say, okay? But actually, the answer was, they were not that educated. They were not educated. You take Einstein, he was a dropout. So most of the, then he came in an assumption saying that, you say learning, education, career is success. And what is with these people? Does the kind of the education system or the learning style which we are providing to our people or incorporate or the whole process which is going on over a period of time, is it right or not? Now he tried to give this big list and say that they were very successful in their field, they were great in that field. Doesn't prove, doesn't say empirically yes or no. Now that point makes us to think. Am I right or wrong?
If they educated very well, they would have
More, okay, a great thought.
our chief missionary.
Okay, that's amazing. That's amazing. I'm not listing. I gave a big list. No, Einstein. Nobody's going to go beyond Einstein today, or nobody's going to go beyond Shakespeare today. No, these are the people who have almost got to the self-actualization state. If I could put it on that particular front, I'm just putting a point. Now, if that is the case, can we use the same learning? I'm just asking you a question. Same type of a learning method what we have across, or we call some people, no, they don't have a learning ability. We look at a person in a company and say, hey, he doesn't have a learning ability. Or we look at the college and say that this student can't learn. That's the learning. So the question comes, is the flaw with the learner or with the system or with the learning type? So these questions let us rethink about it. It can be yes, no, middle, whatever is there. Going a little further also, can this current practices what we follow, can be sustained? Okay, now the other things which needs really the projector, but I would like to tell, how did the learning come in 3 phases? One was behavioral. The other one is to do with the brain cognitive. And then with the social. These are the 3 levels of learning, what we saw over a period of time. When we do social, we started telling whether it is going to be conditioned, non-conditioned, there is a stimuli response. And then also we started cognitive needs, whether it's going to be a long-term, how is the brain, how is the storage in our things. Today, when we are going to speak about the behavioral learning style, the way in which we store information has entirely changed. When I'm going to speak about the big data is going to come. So there is that's what Sir was telling about the shift has really happened. The social. What was social 2 decades back? What was a society? It was a community, was a very closely knit community. Today this social has become, people say Facebook, and they say how many friends you have, they give a list of friends. And when we really go inside, how many nations? So that is the kind of the social which is gone inside from a particular day. So this has created a little change on it. I'm skipping the theories of all the learning because let us not get into it. What is this learning style? Now this is what is the question right now we get inside our mind. What is this learning style actually? Just think for a second, how did we learn, or what type of learning do we like? What kind of learning you like actually? Let's say learning by doing. I will practically learn. And somebody will say, I love books. I will read books. I will gain, I will learn, and I will do it. Somebody say, no, I will watch a movie. So the style actually differs now. So time immemorial. Anybody, right from the day man started existing in this world, he started the old age or stone age, wherever we call it, he started doing it. Which means the learning styles are of a few types. As we discuss about it, the first one is that we like see. Some of us like see, that is visual. Visual, we like images and colors. That can be an attractive factor. Or it was we hear, we like good music. Probably I don't watch TV, but off late there's some program which is happening at 9 o'clock on Visual TV. Some kids come and sing. And I go flat. That's a learning I get. I learn from them sometimes. So that could be there. But the other one is that physical, but unique. So with all these styles, and also some people like to be solitary. Even by sitting alone, we can learn. So many styles across. What is our style? In fact, we wanted to do a small testing on what is our style, but because of all the technology, we just move on to the next one. The theories. Now, we have a lot of understanding about the learning styles. How do we actually learn? I wanted to touch upon the transaction analysis of Eric Berne a little bit, so we can take things of this learning to the next phase. And also, how do the millennials react on this learning style? Now, let's just look at this particular thing. When we look at a person, we judge like this. Say that he's good, he's next, okay, no, he's bad, kind of a thing. What has happened over a period of time? Now, we always say that, a person is good or bad is always because of the total thing. Let's have the psychology little done. The first theory of psychology, we started telling that everybody who's born is not bad. People say scriptures tell that you have to do a lot of karma to become good. Am I right, sir? Right or no? You are more to the spiritual end. No. Somebody is born bad. We have to do good things to become good.
For example, in Tamil,
Please tell. No, that's a right superb thing. The psychology tells everything what you told in Tamil, absolutely. Now, what we actually thought was that everybody is born bad, we have to do good things. When that came and told everybody is born good. So that's the next step which we went on. No, people don't know. People are not born bad or good. The situation makes them good or bad. So with that particular thing, I want to take up this particular thing called transaction analysis and how does it help with the learning styles. We all have 3 ego states. Yes. The ego states are called parent, adult and child. Now, you all have children. You have kids. How do you treat a child? Sir, I'm having you. You have a child, right? So he asked for ice cream. What do you do?
Well, sometimes I give it, sometimes.
Sometimes you don't give it. First time he asked, you gave it. Just 5 minutes after that, he asked another ice cream. He's asking another ice cream. What do you do?
Mostly we won't.
Mostly. Third time also he's asking.
Depends. Sometimes I may do, sometimes.
Five minutes. He's keeping on asking.
I may get angry.
Now I am a parent. So you are a child. You have to obey what we are doing. Suppose I am coming to professor. I am a student. I am telling professor, today I would like to go for a movie. Can I bunk your class, please? Now this is an adult behavior actually. I am an adult. No, probably professor thinks, what? You can't do that. There are some problems that do it. Okay?
Very well.
No, probably. Now, what I'm trying to bring out here is that this ego state, let me just look at what is this.
When eating ice cream also, you go on eating ice cream, I will come, you will get fed up with ice cream, he will not ask ice cream.
Probably you are giving the same old principle of our superstar Rajnikant in that case. Okay. Alright. Now let's just go on with that way. Now, we have a parent, we have an adult and a child learning. Now, how does this learning actually happen? And what I'm just not going into the transaction, I'm just going on to the learning phase. If these three states are there, the parent, adult, and child, what happened? Every time we say that, you are a manifestation of your child. What you are today is what you were from 0 to 5 years of age. If that is true, how did it happen? Right from the day you're born, we started observing things outside. And how did this parent state come? How did this child state come? So today, being an adult, we should never become a parent or never be a child. We need to be an adult. In that case, how did this parent happen? Recordings of unimposed wisdom. If my parent told you should not have non-vegetarian, it is an unimposed. I don't go ask why and all the things. It is something in my mind. Or I say that my parents have told you have to marry only once. Or you have to marry only one. That is an unimposed, and that is something called a state where I have rules and regulations set. Now this is set in the 0 to 5 years of age. Where did we learn from this? Where did we learn, sir? We learned it from our people who are close. Probably we feel parents, our neighbors, wherever was that, it was all the things we had certain rules and regulations. Probably my neighbor was not following the unimposed rule. Next one, then we also go into the child state. What was child state? All the emotions today. Today we get angry. So if you get angry, you're not a parent actually. You have become a child. So that was the thing which says that when we start fighting with a child, we are not a parent, now we are a child. How did it come from? We started taking our emotions. Whatever we started doing, we started feeling for it. Better. So with this transaction analysis, does it work today better? In fact, the whole point is that the transaction analysis, maybe it was written, it was drafted 5 decades back, but today that is happening actually best because transaction analysis is really working on with the millennials. So with this particular thought, after this creation of this parent and the child, we have a logical thinking. We think logically, we see outside what my parent told, is it right or wrong? Is it worth to be emotional for this thing? And I became an adult. A parent and a child join together with a lot of thinking and our thinking. That becomes an adult, and that is what we call it as an adult. If my parent state is not right, my child state is not right, I will have a problem. That is the basic. But the learning of an adult, we call it adult learning, really comes from the logical thing which is in the center. Which every time picks it up from the parent state and the child state and updates the center. With not too much of transaction analysis, let us get into the traditional learning system. We have the model of sensory, personality, and aptitude. These are the general things. I sense, I look at, I learn. Personality, whatever the behavior pattern, whatever the thinking. But now, we look at this millennial culture. Today you see a lot of kids around our place. Millennials today, generally we say that people born after 1980s, so that is the kind of what is happening here? They are technologically immersed. Can you ever remove today's kids from technology, or even the student or the people who are called the generation Y? Or even we can't go out of, we can't keep the mobile phone a little aside. And this millennial is not only for the 1980s, it catches across the board. The technology is immersed. Expectation is very high. Am I right? Expectation is very high. today we see a lot of examples. If you don't get a bike, I mean, there was a incident in a manufacturing sector. This particular boy who joined the company because parents did not get a bike, he committed suicide from a very, very economically backward family.
So what questions also for the community?
No, people don't sit there. Attrition is very. Today we see most of our companies, especially I'm doing one of the research in a pump manufacturing company. People just come, and gone are the days, big companies we both saying that our attrition is not even 2%, but that has been going on. And also the thoughts are diverse. You have so many opportunities to keep moving. If that is the case, and I only look at mobile and I'm totally connected, and I know what is the compensation the next company is giving, I know what is the compensation, what is happening in NCR region or Delhi, and also I know what is happening in China and everything totally connected. How it is going to really happen with that particular thing. The new millennial learning system has an additional one which is called the media-based learning. So that is the new one of learning which has really created a lot of problems in our system now. How do we learn today? How do we learn today? I want to know some topic. I have a problem, I don't know how to pronounce everything. I want to know even a small thing. I don't even go to a doctor today. Say that I have a problem in my knee, doctor Google. And that is a kind of a learning. Did we do it 3 decades back? No. So the learning style has shifted. What is really happening in that case? Whether it's going to be the Facebook, your thoughts, the learning system or the education is totally changing for us. Now, let us see where are we. If you are a digital learner, we have 4 quadrants. Okay? If you are a digital learner, this x-axis is going to be participation and this is going to be axis, which means that do I participate in a digital media, and this is do I access the media. If these are the 2 axes which is on the x and y, the first axis on, the first thing is called disconnected nomad. This person do not access the web or doesn't participate in the forum. The next person does have is called the connected lurker, which means that he is he can go to the next thing, but he doesn't participate, he's very silent. And we have a willing participant who participates but does not have access to the right resources or the media. And the person here is called the collaborative learner. He accesses and participates. Now this is the way across the globe we are trying to divide where does a person stand. Now if suppose the millennial learner is here, it means that he's going to be left out from the whole system. He will not update his information. He will not be in the race. Now here, this particular thing, this is social, which means that we have to give him access to go to the go to the access and for him to be a participant or the collaborative learner. Here, this is internal. He has access, but he's not participating. He has the access, but he's not participating, which means that we also have to pull him. So strategies to make this person move is very important. And here is the thing which say that they are at inertia. So this is the only thing which we are looking at. Next one, if these are the things given, we put the content inside, which means that no, Wikipedia has not engaged billions of people to write for them, but it's a free, we ourselves can go and write the content. So we source the information and also we learn from that. So that is going to be the truth. So that learning, which means that we participate. Now here a crowdsourcing learner is also having the access and also having the participation to update the information. Now let us compare with the traditional method. Can a student go and edit the textbook or the reference book? It's happening. Is it right? Now that's the question comes. For example, the same Wikipedia, I tell people, when you source an information, please do not take it from me. Right? Because the authentication is a problem. Who authenticates it? We write it. But Wikipedia has a authentication method, but it needs to be more matured over a period of time. In future, this is going to be the learning style in countries. Positive, negative, merit, demerit, we have to learn. Books will vanish off. And for everything we say, I don't want a book. And I also tell why we say that. Because every data is available, why should we need a book? Maybe a little hard to digest. For example, when somebody told that you can touch and process the information, did we believe 2 decades back? So you can touch on a machine and the machine can give money. We do not believe it, but it's happened, which means that it might happen. Let's go to the next one, which is called the cloud learning style, which is again, what is this cloud learning style? The data will be, or the information which is inside your brain need not be inside your brain. It can be in somewhere other place. Whenever you want, we go and get that information. Lot of research we keep doing on it, and that is also the future. Mobile learning, we know today. Most of the curriculum has come on mobile. Do we need to? E-learning is gone. E-learning is gone, and we have all got everything on mobile. Which means that Tata Institute of Social Science, we have a deal with them that says that we provide online course, we provide also a course on the mobile. Now I was always thinking, saying that should we go for that? Don't we think, they say that no, it is dropped in your Dropbox. Dropbox is a particular application. It's in the Dropbox. You take read, you come for the assessment. Assessment is online, and it's similar to an open book test. What we told earlier. You can't copy anything. You have to write what is really goes on. Social media learning. Today, people, whether it's going to be Facebook or any social media, learning is happening. We learn through the social media. What is MOOC, sir? M-O-O-C. Another very, very latest happening learning style. MOOC is all about massive open online course, which means that today, we are into the business of training. And in another few years, we won't exist. Which means that, why should we need a trainer? We will not have a class like this. Why should we need it? You want information, a particular thing, you have a massive thing. Everything is being given. You complete the certification, you tell you are a certified person. Of course, at our place, we run this certified practitioner on HR and several recruitment and other things. And I was telling my people, only in another 2 to 3 years you can run this business model. After this, no, it doesn't work. Or even someday when a professor should not be offended, how far the colleges are going to exist? Or is it? There are already virtual colleges that have come. We don't have physical colleges, we have virtual colleges. You have rooms, everything set. You can meet the professor, you can get an appointment, you can do all this, everything virtual. Therapy. Simulation. I would like to go a little on the simulation on simulation and games. How many of you play Angry Birds? Angry Birds? Ah, there you're on the track. Angry Birds? Hey, you're Angry Birds. Okay, good. Alright. So these are some of the games. Sometimes we say, hey, why is he playing a game? Go get to the basketball court, triple. FIFA is happening, football. So they are great things. So what are we have simulated games of cricket and football and everything now on the tab. Maybe positive or negative. But let me just take you into the gamification field. Now everything is being gamified. People like games. Games on the screen. Let me just take this example of Sean Egg, a physics academician from Quebec. This person has created a particular model where everything is gamified. How does it happen? You have points, you have every time reviews, marks and everything, and it's all games. Can you ever believe that physics can be taught with games? We can have physics class and games after that. But games as physics? He says that I can teach inertia with a game. And he's totally justified and completely given. For example, let me look at this. You have warriors, you have saviors and everybody who are teaching you and making a game. Inertia comes in that. Thought comes inside that. Formulas are taught. Why physics? People have gone English, mathematics, all the basic things are being given. No wonder, in another few years, our egg, what's your name? Hey, what's your name? Rehan, okay. No, he is only going to use games for learning in that case, or the next generation. How are we going to react for this? No way. So that is going to be the next challenge what we are looking at. Oh, see, almost today, only with games, there are more than 7,000 learners across 25 countries who are doing this program. I'm not telling right or wrong, I'm just giving a fact what has happened. So no, games are not only to do with with something fun, but fun with learning. We always say that fun with work and fun with learning. How does it happen? We believe that you want to become a banker. So I want to become a banker. I need not do a lot of training or sit in the banking is being taught. Okay? Complete module. Now some of you could think, I'm just hyping it. Maybe I'm just telling it in a superficial manner. Let's get to a small finance, HR, legal, technical, name what it we have a thing, which means that I wanted to take only one example. Do we have, if you ask me, can you name a game which can teach it? I'm going to give only one example. This game is called HR Net. Am I right on? HR Net. So this particular game will teach you recruitment, induction, management, conflict resolution. I mean, people are getting into India to work on with the labor laws also. And so many things into HR, exiting, promoting, demoting, so many things across in this particular game. I mean, it has employees, workers, manager, receptionist, sales professional. It even gives a map of the office of the factory. And you can redesign according to your, how does your factory look like, or how does your office look like. Manage it. And also, as I told, recruitment, health, safety, reward, motivation, succession, team management, everything is being brought inside. And this game has been widely used in most of the corporate. Some of the corporate for recruiting the head of the HR. Say that Can I just look at how do you play this game? The process going on for a HR head or a chief people officer to do this particular. So many things on. In fact, I've got a few screenshots to show how is that, but the staff hiring forms, how does it happen? How do you budget a staff? For example, this is what the salary of a particular employee per month. How does the person budget it for for the whole month, for the whole year? What is the job analysis? What is the employee cost? How does it affect performance? How the work goes on? You can do everything, including your what are the employee costs and everything. Okay, with this particular thing, I was just getting on to the final things. These are some of the basic things on the which I wanted to share. Where each and everything we are researching, saying that how fast things can happen in implementation, because it's already happened. Whether as far as India is concerned, it is on the phase of happening. Only few companies which have adopted the Western style have been getting on. Now we have all this. We are mostly a traditional country with a lot of understanding. We have a mixture of our traditions, our culture, also the Western ideas coming inside. That is a little different thing. That research is also on. Now I want to just tell one thing, which we speaking about the what are the basic things what we look at, what kind of a trend and all this. The shift of the big data, which I was speaking across earlier. Cognitive, what means that we store everything in our thoughts, in our brain. Now today, that ability, that storage has shifted from here to the servers, which is called the external storage device. What has people started doing it? Now today, if we say somebody calculate 10 into 3 into 4, some kind of a number, what do? Do we calculate here? Do we go to the paper and a pen, or do we look at a mobile or a calculator? So today things have little changed in that particular style. Even people are good in logical mathematics who can calculate here have forgotten the style. So that is the research which has really showed, which is an alarming rate. People say a person is learned, a person is educated, a person has acquired a lot of experience. That is happening a little mutation. People say that how well you can maneuver in this particular environment and become successful. People say that how well you are educated is not important, how well you can get to the final point. Machiavelli was here, he said that not the ways, the ends only matter, or how do we do that? Maybe that could be a point we have to note in this. Another important thing is that the knowledge divide has got nullified. Earlier, people said that I am an expert. So today, that is getting close. Nobody becomes an expert now, because the World Wide Web or the data which is available, the big data is available, he has become an expert. We're not, not right now, it has been moving to that. So today doctors have started not even advising and counseling people. They say that, hey, this is the book, go read it, find out. This is the CD, please understand it. For example, there's a heart specialist. He says that I can't counsel you, please look at the CD, you know. And people are very happy about it, because they know about it. Because rather than the doctor telling, today people say that I will go to the web and find out. Different specialists. This is just a movement or a shift from whatever we are looking at. And also, this is creating an unlimited freedom for an individual. When there is an unlimited freedom for an individual, there is a problem of instability in the system. There may not be control and procedures. People can become very violent or different, or can become an individually vibrant person. So that is a matter of concern. What is happening today in the millennial people is that they may not respect, they may not be under control. They say, I want to do it, I want to be free. Maybe the cultural system, the value system could get lost on this because of the school system. My goodness, the speed of learning. What is it all about? Somebody told me in our research, the 30 years of my experience is just been learned in 1 year using a certain system. No, maybe may not be true at all cases, but this is what is said. 30 years I've been experienced something. This, in 1 year, you're giving this particular experience. Using a simulation, using this, that. No, just an example, but it means that the learning is fast, moving fast. The learning is fast. Simple example. Small kids teachers. Young people teachers. So many things have gone, which means that it has gone. The divide has gone. The data, the faster is X comes. Data access to the data, the simulation, gamification, which means that the generation is faster. The world is faster. The force want instant. You want this thing instant. Now we want it. Problem with that? What are we doing? We are nullifying the reality. We are in the superficial world maybe. Or we are also cutting the human and emotional part of it. When we saw the transaction analysis, we saw the child is an emotional person. Still we need to have emotions. Emotions, we should have emotions and express the emotions at the right time but not become emotional. In that case, we are not, the reality or the human thing, because of the faster thing get reduced. A lot of already examples have gone into it. And physical, as usual, our physical activity goes down, and then health hazards or social connect. The last one of the thing, because being very socially connected, our goodness or our beatitudes are getting enhanced. Otherwise, it means that our people have become a little good now, understanding the social issues and saying that voicing it up. But otherwise, we can also do a polarization also. There are two sides to this particular topic. So in fact, I just try to put all the thoughts together to say that the millennial learning styles are of different types. Gamification, I got examples of that. Which we actually wanted to do a little demonstration of how this really works. But as a time and others, I've taken the so millennial learning styles are happening. Cherish it, enjoy it, and encourage people also to be on the optimal side, not on the maximum of the thing. You use it in the right way. So that's the thought from my. In fact, the technology did not support. I try to do what I can do and I'm open for questions.
Millennial learning states such as gamification, strong learning, strong brand, may be useful in case of banking, HR management, or some sort of godly or policy. Can they replace a physics laboratory, or agriculture field, or an operation theater, or even swimming?
Now, swimming is a physical activity. I've not come there because you have to do physical. Can agriculture be simulated? Factory can be simulated? Yes, because even if you simulate an aircraft. Now, we have the pros and cons. If you want to simulate, learn it. And my opinion is that whatever there are two parts. One, simulate faster it because of cost factor, and then put them back onto the real world. There we scroll down.
MBBS student, without going to an operation theatre, can you learn how to operate, how to do the surgery, only through your millennial learning styles?
Okay, now I'm not telling that gamification is a millennial learning style. I'm also telling the mobile learning and mobile treatments are one of the great methods. For example, let me take GE, because that was my first company where I was that I'm still proud of it because it is founded by Thomas Alva Edison, and I still carry the ethics card of it, and I go for this example. People in Africa have come out and told, because of this mobile learning and technology, we have cured most of our disease. Meaning, research, getting back to that, even treatment have gone mobile. So, okay, now the point is that learning.
Only the results are communicated, but from where do you get the results?
Okay, no, okay, fine. I totally go with you, sir, which means that the whole point is that we are also under the same research which says we cannot forgo certain physical part because we are human beings. We cannot say that I will become Alvin Toffler and I will always sit in a room and keep doing it. We can't do that. And you are right always. And which means to say that that doesn't mean that this is fixed. Okay, which means that it supports, it keeps things going on. It has made frogs faster. Can it help? It can help to an extent. And then we stop. That's true. Technology cannot replace because we have a human touch. Even we say the doctor, he has to speak to a person. Even by the time he's speaking, it gets over. But how many doctors really speak? That is another question today.
Even on the education side, if you see, the foreign countries they still appreciate the Indian way of learning, not to matriculation or whatever it is. Because those are the fundamental, basic things which is required to do. And they have switched over to that type of education. So these are both. After that, yes, once they are able to realize they are the fundamental things, after that they build up. When the university education is very top, nothing locally can control. But again, that formulation or all those things what we see practically, that has to be translated into the practical. Then until unless they do it, nothing is possible. After all, you are dealing with the human. Everywhere is the human. And there are so many things that they are connected with that.
Yes.
Each human being is different. So that single theory cannot
it cannot be a straight jacket method, we have to customize it.
That is, even your millennium, they say is, if the fellow has done certain practice or certain things, it may not be possible the same method can be used by the others. And it can be successful. It will not be successful. So there are drawbacks and the other things are also there. Yes, for knowledge sake, theory sake, you have got a overburden of information to be managed. Another confusion which is taking place now, they are not able to decide where to go. Because everything is fed so fast, they can do anything. With the result, out of frustration, they are not able to get the job, and next they will be suicide. That is also the maximum. Even in the foreign countries, if you see there, a fellow has the guns, he goes to the school, kills everything. What is that? Because he is not able to get job, he is not able to decide where is my future.
Exactly, we call this a polarization doldrum. That is actually one more thing which we have to also do, the pollution of information.
Pollution of information.
No, what can the brain hold? That's the biggest problem also. You have so many methods and so many access. So the best person is that don't learn, keep quiet. Okay, when it is necessary, learn. So that is also a new theory. And again, as he was telling about, people have started the traditional method, saying that go sit in a nice woods in the jungle. Gurukulam and read it. No, that's what we are into. Now, in fact, I have got so many from Tirukkural and Vedas to, those are the things. So always people have started a community called Get Back to the Olden Days. So, available. And one more thought is also, people say that no, the companies, the organizations are pushing these strategies on us. No, then how do we take it up? No, how the games are being used actually. It has been given free. Today take WhatsApp. WhatsApp. How many of you are with WhatsApp? WhatsApp, which means that we have given it free. After 1 year, it is charged. And nobody knows about it. It's free, we take it. So it goes on.
Then they come up with different plans, you keep on using it.
No, you can keep on using it. Here it is different. If you're willing to change your phone number, you can use it.
Right.
But many of us would not change the numbers. My number is for 1, 10, 15 years the same.
Young generation, they are having 4 phones.
That is
They
what
keep on
people
changing every time. So it's good that
That's the reason companies have introduced dual
SIM
SIM
card,
and
double SIM card, third SIM card, so many SIM cards they have. They keep on changing.
they want change. Thanks a lot for your time, sir. I mean, I've enjoyed.
This PowerPoint presentation is explaining the different types of learning. So, எல்லாத்தையும் லேர்ன் பண்ணி கடைசியில் வந்து அன்பை மறந்துருக்காரு இல்லைங்களா? ஃபேமிலியில் இதுக்கு நம்ம வாழ்கிறோம் அப்படின்னா பியூர் லவ் இல்லைங்களா? ஒரு 2 லைனில் சொல்லியிருக்கிறார். அடுத்து ரொம்ப சங்கடப்பட்டது இந்த மாதிரி லேர்னிங் ஸ்டைல் இதெல்லாமே போயிட்டே இருக்கு. ஒரு பையன் டீச்சரை கொண்டான் இல்லைங்களா? அவங்க எல்லாமே வந்து சென்னையில் இதெல்லாமே வந்து நம்ம இப்போவும் கூகுளில் போனீங்கன்னா அதை பற்றி சுற்றி விட்டிங்கன்னா வரும் நடந்த விஷயங்கள் போகலாம். அப்போ நம்ம எந்த அளவுக்கு நம்ம ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸை வந்து மாற்றிட்டு இருக்கு ஆர்டிஃபிஷியலாக ஏதாவது ஒன்றுன்னா கோபம் அவங்க சொல்கிற மாதிரி தான் ஈகோ. ஸோ ஏதாவது ஒன்று சொன்னோம்னா அதை வந்து எடுத்து பஞ்சாயத்து நிற்கிறது இல்லை. இது பூரா சொசைட்டியில் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா நிறையா இருக்குது. அதே போல் ஃபேமிலிஸில் 3 குழந்தைங்க 4 குழந்தைங்க இருந்தாங்க. அப்போ ஷேரிங் இருந்தது, அன்பு இருந்தது, கொடுத்து வாங்குவாங்க, பங்கி சாப்பிடுவாங்க. இந்த மாதிரி ஒருத்தருக்கு ஒருத்தரில் வந்து நல்ல வந்து ஒரு அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்டிங் எல்லாம் இருந்தது. இப்போ பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ஒன்று தான் ஒரு குழந்தை பையனோ பொண்ணோம். ஸோ இப்போ அந்த மாதிரி இருக்கும் பொழுது வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா நல்லா போகுது. இவர் இன்னொரு நம்ம இதுக்கு சிஎம்ஏல கொஞ்சம் பவர் ப்ராப்ளத்தில் நாங்கள் sorting out our power problems tomorrow itself, sir. Again, we will invite you for a special session with the behavioral session with all the faculty. I will assure you, okay? Because this is the first time I am coming regularly, sir myself. This is the give a